Hi everyone, I thought it would be time to get on with another cupcake. Sorry, I'm fiddling with a piece of paper and distracting myself. So we've done these two cupcakes only, and I'm planning this on being a little bit of a longer video, so I thought maybe we'd do these two cupcakes today and get a couple done. We might pair the others up, we might not. We'll just see how it goes, because I've got quite a few morning videos recorded which were a bit shorter, and so I thought I would do two and make this one a little bit of a longer video. I know it's not really a small victory then, because it's a bit of a long video, but we'll see how it goes. So here is the first one I'm planning on doing, just trying to come in close enough. There we go. So excuse me, so we have a cherry, raspberry or blackberry, and 3 blueberries is what I'm guessing. The page doesn't want to stay flat. Hang on, I'm just going to put, I was going to shadow it. It might be a bit better. There we go. Is that creating shade? Yeah, it is a bit. It's not going to work. Never mind. So let's. I'm using my Staedtler Design Journey pencils because I think they're what I use for the rest. I've now got a 72 set, which I didn't when I did this one, but I don't think it matters. I'm going to just start with the cake. Can you see this bit here looks to me like it is just plain cake. And I'm going to try number 16 first. This is our golden ochre, and it's a sort of goldish colour. It's possibly what I used over here. And I'm just going to put down a layer of this. Now I learnt this technique of colouring cake just the other day. What cake was I colouring? Oh, I was colouring a slice of cake in a Hannah Carlson book, and I had looked up, I was looking up in a, was it Helen Elliston book? I was trying to look up how to do something, I can't remember what it was, and I saw a little thing which showed you how to do cake. So it wasn't perfect, but it was a good idea. So this is our fawn. Sorry, you can't see that very well. 49. And what you do is get a really sharp pencil. I hope this is sharp enough. And you go round and round like this in a sort of circular movement. And it then looks a bit more like cake, because cake isn't an even colour. Now this is even more effective for an inside of a slice of cake, and I used it for that one, and I was rather pleased. Now under here I think there'd be a bit of shadow. I just want to do a bit of a darker line. I don't know if you can see that very well, but just make it a bit darker under there. You could do your shadow in a different colour, like a grey, but I quite like doing it in this sort of colour, you know, that matches the cake. There we go. So I think that'll do for our cake. That we might want to do the case and the icing and the fruit though, do you think? What I'm going to actually do, I'm just going to put my, there, just trying to hold the book down a little bit. I'm going to do the fruit first, and then that will help me sort of decide on what colours to do the rest, I think. So let's do our blueberries. Now we have got a, I need the violet, I think. That is our darkest purple. I'm going to do that first. So this is number 6. And let's start with that. But they aren't completely purple. They're a bit bluish, blackish, aren't they? They're a bit of a odd colour. Now as you can see, this is quite faint. These pencils are quite hard. They're not particularly intense. So I'm going to put a few more layers on there first. But I want some other colours, so I'm not going to burnish it in too hard. I'm just going to get a reasonably decent amount of colour down, like that. Then I'm going to grab a blue. I'm just looking at what we've got. We've got an indigo blue and a slate blue dark. I feel that the slate blue is slightly more purpley, so I might go for that. Whoops. This is the 339. What I'm going to do with this is put it around the edge to start with. You can see the bluishness, and then just take it gently in so that we have a little bit of more purpley in the middle. I don't know why. I think it'll make it look a bit more spherical. And we sort of get a mix of purple and blue. Put a A bit more colour there. Looks a bit pale. I think that's okay. Now cherry is quite a tricky colour to do, so we're going to start with the 61, which is just fallen on the floor. Excuse me. Oh, here it is. Just about grab it. Luckily it's carpet in here, so things don't fall too heavily. So yes, 61, which is our either red, violet or dark mauve. And I'm just going to put a layer of this down. Now obviously this does not look like cherry, but I like a pinkish tone to my cherries, so that's the beginning. And then I'm going to go for a pinky red, and let me just look at my list. The carmine red might help us. That is the 29, yeah. Let's try it. So this is the 29 carmine red. I'm going to put a bit of this on. I'm not going to do it too hard because I don't want my cherry just turning into red. I want there to be that sort of pinky edge to it. There we go. I'm quite happy with how that's coming along. I am actually going to put a bit more red on the edge where it would be a bit darker. I feel we need something a little darker. What have we got? We've got a red brown, a Tuscan red. I think the red brown 27 might just be the right sort of colour for us. I'm going to give it a go. It's quite dark. I'm going to do it really gently and see how we fare. Just add a light layer to all of it. I think that's okay. I'm quite happy with that. Now I'm going to leave it there, apart from in this little dip where the stick goes, stalk, stick, whatever you call it, there's a little dot dent. I want that to not be, I'm thinking I'm going to use a brownish colour for that. Maybe the Van Dyke 76. Just going to try it. It's not sharp enough. Hang on. Let's give it a sharpen. I want it to be quite accurate. There we go. Bit of accuracy in there. There we go. Just so we've got that bit of shadow, and we can put a bit of shadow along here. Down there. And along there as well. There we go. Right, our raspberry blackberry. I'm thinking blackberry. Yeah, I'm wondering about that slate blue. I think I'm going to start with a pink again, like I did before. So the 61, like I did for the cherry. But it's going to look very different to the cherry because we're going to go purple. There we go. I'm going to grab the 6 and put a layer over again. I'm still not doing much, just layering over like that, just darkening it. Now I am going to go for this is the 633, which is the slate blue. No, I'm lying. Yeah, it's the slate blue. Sorry, it is the slate blue. And I'm going to put a bit on there to darken it. It's quite purpley still at the minute. And then we're going to go in with a black. Number 9 is our black. I'm going to sharpen it. So bear with me. Ooh, I just dropped my sharpener. There we go. And hopefully I've left enough tooth in the paper, number 9, to get some black. Because I'm thinking blackberry. So we want it really black along the edge of each of these little sections, and then a bit lighter in the middle. You can even leave a bit that uncoloured so you can see some of that purple, pinky, bluey colour that we've put in. You will need to layer up a bit because these are hard pencils. hopefully. Yeah, that'll do. Now the leaves, I'm going to do number 5, which is just our green. I think it's a good colour for blackberry leaves, quite dark. Just going to block these in, nothing too fancy. I made cake today. Well, they were sort of muffins really, not cakes, because they don't seem to need such a precise recipe. Maybe it's me. These leaves, I want a slightly different shade of green. I am going to use this one. This is the 551, which is called light green, and it's quite a different shade. I think this is quite a mint green, and I'm thinking maybe this is mint. Yeah, so I used some whole grain spelt flour with a little bit of bicarb. It's a raising agent. I had an orange, so I juiced my son, actually. He got the juice out of the orange and zested it for me. So we did that. I'm going to use a pink icing. I'm going to go with the 21. I'm pretty sure that's what we used over here, but it doesn't matter. This is the 21, the light rose, but I'm going to put it on a bit darker. So zest and juice and some cinnamon, and then a bit of oil, being as it was muffin, and some smushed bananas. So it's a really guessed recipe, so I couldn't tell you. I had 2 quite small bananas. They weren't really very ripe, but you know, they are sweetening. Then we mixed in the lemon zest to that and stirred it up. We sifted the flour, added, I'm thinking maybe a creamy cream. Does that make any sense? Like this colour, but it's a bit samey, isn't it? Let's do something else. What colours would you have for cream icing? Because we've used purple and pink over there. We don't want the same. What about, I know, this slightly darker pinky red, the 23, which is our Bordeaux, but I'm going to use it lightly so it's not too dark. Yes, so it was all guessed. So I sifted the flour and the spice and the bicarb, and then stirred in the orange juice. The zest and banana was mixed in, that was all stirred in, and tipped in some oil. And then I'm just doing a light layer. I'm going to come back in a minute and change it up a bit. And then I folded in some aquafaba, which I had. Aquafaba, you know what that is? It's the liquid out of chickpeas, and it sounds completely bonkers, but it's, if you whisk it up, it goes like meringue. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm making a little bit darker here in the bottom. I can do the same on all of these. And then I folded that in to give it some air into my mix. So I did that. Because I've been making some hummus from a jar of chickpeas, which is to take with me tomorrow, and we're going out to a get-together, and I offered to bring some. I had the aquafaba, so I thought I'd use it in my cake. And yes, you can taste it, so, and smell it, but that's why we had strong orange and cinnamon flavours. Then you couldn't taste it over that. But apparently if you use it for meringue, because you haven't got flavouring in meringue, I don't think, I've never made meringue, but if you use it for vegan meringues, which is what they do make them from, and they're not sort of flavoured, then you can taste that taste, which isn't pleasant. So the case, I'm thinking maybe we'll take from these sort of purples. So I'm actually going to use the violet, which is R6, for the case. And I'm going to do, we've done a stripy case. I might just do a violet and white striped case. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So stripe down here. And we've actually got lines. So I'm thinking I'm going to just stripe inside the lines. I think the lines might be supposed to be there as a guide to the shape of the sort of case with the cake in it, because cases have that sort of crinkly shape. But anyway, but yes, so it was completely guessed, so I've got no idea how much I used. It just felt the right consistency. When I did it, there wasn't enough, it wasn't wet enough, so after I put the first few spoonfuls of aquafaba in, it was too wet. That's right. So I added a bit more flour, and then it felt right. I'm going to use this 633, the dark slate, I think it's called. I'm just checking, slate blue, sorry. And I'm just going to do a little bit darker on the edge of each of the stripes. I don't know why. I just think it needs it. Maybe I'm being unnecessary. So yes, I added a bit more flour, and then we didn't use all the aquafaba that we had, just what I felt was necessary. Right, it's white pen time. I've got my Jelly Roll 10. We're going to put a little bit of shine on the fruit. Now, I'm always a little bit reluctant with the Blackberry because sometimes it works really well with a bit of white and sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to try the tiniest bit. Dot, 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 dot. Okay. And a bit on these. And I think I'm just going to leave it there. So there is our that cake, and yeah, we've been 16 minutes, so for a short video that will be fine, but because this is a later in the day, we're going to do a second one, little treat. We're going to do this one. Let me just put back my remote control so I can hold the page open. Okay, now what's going on with this cake? Well, again, we've got a bit of exposed cake that we could either colour as icing or as cake. Now we've got two in this row, this one that you can just see Norm we just did, where we've done cake, so let's do that as icing, just for something a bit different. So I'm grabbing number 10, which is our light yellow, and I'm just going to gently apply a layer of this here, so it just looks like we've got a bit of icing. Why not? And I'm looking at this and I'm having a think, what is this cake? Are these chocolate? Is it a chocolate cake? Or are they like marshmallows? Is it like a is it a sort of pastel marshmallow cake? I'm going to do, it's a chocolate cake, I think. So I'm going to start with the 77, which is our warm sepia / tobacco brown. And I'm going to do every other stripe of this in here as if it's actually a chocolate stick. So I am going to make it a little darker on the edge, a little lighter in the middle, so we've got like a little bit of a shine going down, because chocolate can catch the light and be a bit shiny. If you don't want to do it this way, you can block it in hard and then just draw a white line with your white pen. Or you can just block it in and not worry about a white line. Yeah, it's completely up to you. So that is that one. Now for this one, I don't want that one to be dark as well. So I'm going to make this one the dark one. Yeah, so I baked the cakes didn't think about how long they might take, took them out, stuck a knife in, stood a bit moist, popped them back in for another 5 minutes. Got my son to check them. He said they needed a few more minutes, but then it was lunch time, so I just got them out. It's all very accurate. I'm absolutely rubbish at 76 Van Dyke Brown for the other stripe, at measuring things. Rubbish. When I cook, I never measure. Now I realise that baking is a very exact art and you can't just guess. But so if I was making a proper cake, I don't think that would have worked, you know, but it just seemed to. I think perhaps I was just really lucky. But, you know, baking is a chemistry experiment. You've got to have the right amount of this and that for it to all work. But I guess I was just lucky. But if you, there was no sugar in the cake, it was sweetened with banana. And if you don't have a sweet tooth, if you have a sweet tooth, then it would have been quite vile, I think. I'm just trying to decide what colour to do for my cream. I thought I might do them both chocolatey colour, but I'm just looking at what I've got. I've got a light brown, No, it's too orangey. Oh, or is it? Hang on. I can't see my bit of paper. I'm going to bring it into camera shot so you can see. So this is the Van Dyke and Sepia that we just used. A light brown. That would work, but that's definitely too orangey. That's too pink. So I think we'll use the light brown for one of them. What colour is it? What number is it? 7. Oh, here it is. And it looks right as well if you look at the barrel. That looks like a good colour. I'm going to use it lightly because this is a chocolate buttercream. It would be lighter than this if this is proper chocolate. So I'm going to use it lightly to start with and then just see how it looks. So this is just my sort of initial gentle layer. Because this is one of the new pencils to me in this set. You know, I've not long had this set. So it's I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like. It's very messy. I don't think that's a reflection on the pencil. That might be something to do with the person who's using it. So yes, I had fun making the cake. Basically, it was a really good time to do it because I'm going to make it a little bit darker there. Because I had the orange, which I'd bought for the purpose of making the orange and cinnamon cake, but I hadn't used it for a while, and there's a risk that it was going to rot because, you know, sits in the fruit bowl forever. And then I had the aquafaba, and I just sort of thought, right, let's just... And I had the time, which obviously is quite a biggie. Oh, itchy nose. I'd got on with the cleaning and got the washing on and things like that, and I had a bit of time. So, and I knew I was going to be recording videos this afternoon, not this morning, because the family are out. It's quite nice doing it when they're not here, for several reasons. Partly you don't get interrupted. I don't have to shut the door of the office, because normally I do, either partly because they're too noisy and partly because I don't like being heard. I find it awfully embarrassing. Right, there's our chocolate cream. I think that looks quite good like chocolate cream, but the top one, do we want that to be chocolate? Do we want it to be cream? And I feel that this looks a bit too lemony. Did I use the lemon by mistake? What colour is that? 10? No, I used the light yellow. I think. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try using number 1, which is the actual yellow, for this cream to see if I can make it look a bit more like cream and less like lemon. It's really gentle, just pressing lightly, seeing what happens. Putting a little bit of extra in between our sort of swirly bits. I think this is the colour I used over there. Look. Whereas this is a bit dark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that into a plain cake because I don't like it. So I'm going to grab my number 16 and just sort of go over it a bit and hope I can make it look a bit more like it's just a sponge rather than trying to be icing. Just going over it a bit more. That's better. I'm happier, much happier with that. Now our cake case, as this one here you can just about see is a crosshatch. This one's plain. We've got a stripy one. I'm trying to think what can I do to make this one look a little bit different to the others, so we haven't got them all looking the same. So we've got a plain one, a striped one. We could just stripe it the other way. Let's do that. What colour? I don't want to do brown, it's a bit dull, isn't it? Let's use green. Let's use this green. This is our 5. Okay, and I'm just going to try and stripe it across without doing anything else. Now, it should really follow... let's start at the bottom. It should sort of follow the shape of the bottom of the cake. So I think that's about right. I'm not going to worry about being hugely accurate. I'm just going to hope it sort of makes sense. If it doesn't, I can just cover it all in this colour. So, you know, I don't need to worry too much. I was, who was it? Someone said to me, oh, I know who it was, I'm not going to name names, that they hadn't started a particular book they had because they were scared of spoiling it. It's a shame. I completely wrecked a page. Well, the other day, yesterday, I was really stupid. Had my Posca pen and I went on the page. Why? I usually always do it. I'm just finding an eraser on a scrap of paper, which, you know, I did it on the page, and guess what happened? It went splodge, and the bit of there was about that much paint. Now normally Posca pens don't do that to me. I know they've done it to other people, and I don't know whether I was just being too blasé, and so I completely wrecked the picture. It was basically, let's pretend this is the picture. There were some little circles around it, and it was one here, so it went over that bit of the picture. I've got my Jelly Roll 10 out to do. I just want to do a bit more shine on the edge of here. Like that. And then I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to come out a little so you can see both cakes, and we'll be done. Yeah, we've done almost half an hour, so it's a little bit longer. So that will look like I've done all the cakes, and I haven't today. Let's try and straighten it. But yes, it was a mess, but I didn't worry about it. I tried to clean it up. I tried a few different things. Nothing worked, so I've just put the book away. I'm going to show you it in my completed pages. You'll see it. I won't put it as a sort of featured page because obviously it's not brilliant, but I want to show you that, you know, you just got to embrace it and carry on. Don't be scared. Right, so that's me for today, and a little lecture over. But thank you so much for watching and joining me. I hope you're not too hungry. All this colouring cakes and talking about cakes. We will be doing more of these cakes. I've got a different plan for tomorrow, but I probably might keep coming back to this page because I don't like having unfinished pages, and I suspect some of you don't as well. So we will crack on and get more of these done, but they are lovely looking little cakes to do. So and I'll carry on with the Staedtler Design Journey pencils. I do have a chart at the moment comparing a fairly new one, Staedtler to Castle. If you want me to do one for others, I can, so that you can, if you haven't got the Staedtlers, you can see what you can use instead. I've done some for a smaller set of Staedtlers as well, but I can't quite remember. So anyway, if you want some, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. I may not have those pencils, but you know, I'll have a go. But anyway, time to stop waffling. Have a super rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe and comment. It makes so much difference to the channel, and I always forget to ask. So thank you to those that do. It's really appreciated. And yes, have a super day and happy colouring.